The thing with the face pulls is that's become such a default answer, and it's not a bad exercise. There's no bad exercises, but it's become such a default answer over the years that when people do have upper back issues that would need to be addressed, the first question I ask them is, what have you been doing for this? And they'll say face pulls, and I'll say, for how long? And then they'll say 2 years. There's got to be other movements to be able to put in there to be able to rotate it out. I'll put that on Sam's list.
Sam's list. Sam's list.
The face pull, fantastic exercise for a lot of different things. People use it to help with their shoulders. They use it to get stronger upper backs. Some people use it for world peace. Whatever you want to do, the face pull is a fantastic exercise for you to use. But just like any exercise, it can be used the right way and it can be used the wrong way. If you had watched Dave's live chat probably a few days ago, I don't know exactly when it came out, there was a question on there that he pushed to my desk talking about the face pull and variations that you can utilize the face pull with when it comes to getting that stronger upper back for a deadlift. First and foremost, I'd have to say, what is the purpose of a face pull, right? So if you watch me do this face pull, we're trying to get as much tension into that upper back as we can, hit the rhomboids, hit the traps, hit everything in that upper back area, right? Scaps retract, and as we know, the rhomboids control those scaps retracting. But think about what we're doing in a deadlift. Are we trying to deadlift like this? No, we're trying to deadlift like this, right? So that's scapular depression. That's an entirely different movement. So if you've been doing face pulls for years and it's not helping your deadlift, it's because that exercise is not the right tool for the job. So what I want to go over is 3 exercises that you can do instead of the face pull to get a stronger upper back and help you with your deadlift. All right, guys, the first exercise to help your upper back that's better than face pulls when it comes to the deadlift is actually a pull-up. Now, you may be saying to yourself, oh, pull-ups, everybody can do those. Those are pretty easy. But if you've actually seen one of our older videos, we go into how to do a pull-up correctly and why a pull-up is actually a really good prerequisite exercise and a test to see if you're ready to deadlift. Why? Because we're working on the lats, right? Like I'd mentioned at the face pull segment earlier in this video, when we're trying to deadlift, we're trying to stabilize the core. We're trying to drive those shoulder blades down, not necessarily back, right? So when we're deadlifting, we want to think about, this is a shrug. We want to anti-shrug. Drive those lats, engage the pecs, engage that core, right? Drive those shoulder blades down. We're working on being able to stabilize using our serratus, using our lats, and our entire back and core, right? So with a pull-up, if we do them the right way, can tell us if we are able to stabilize force utilizing the lats and maintain a good core position, which is what you need to do for a deadlift. So how we're going to do them, first and foremost, find yourself an Elite FTS Scholastic Collegiate Ottoman that we have here. I don't know why Dave has this here, but it's super squishy and it looks like it belongs in a living room. So what we're going to do, grab just outside of shoulder width, go to a dead hang. And what you want to do, initiate this pull by externally rotating those shoulders, getting the scaps involved, pulling up. What we're doing here is trying to get those shoulder blades to depress and pull ourselves up utilizing our lats, right? So if you're in a position where you can't externally rotate that shoulder, get those lats involved, and you find yourself unable to do 1 or 2 pull-ups correctly, you may not be ready for deadlifts, right? Because if you think about it, in a deadlift, we're trying to resist force from pulling our arms away from us, right? That's all lat, that's all core, that's all our pecs, that's our serratus. We need to make sure we're able to do that with our own body weight before we start putting on 2, 3, 4 times your body weight for a deadlift. So on to the next exercise. Exercise number 2, front carries. We can do this with kettlebells, you can do this with a sandbag, you can do this with kegs. Anything that's going to force you to try to flex forward that you need to resist, right? So even while we're talking about this, you can do GHR sit-ups, anything that's an anti-flexion or anti-extension exercise, that's gonna help that mid-back, that upper back in the deadlift, right? Anytime you have a weight out in front of you, kind of like a deadlift, that's gonna force your body to want to curl forward. So we're trying to resist that, driving those shoulders down, stiffening up that core, making sure everything's nice and tight. And again, you can do marches, you can do front carries, you can do whatever you wanna do. But this exercise has a much better carryover to a deadlift and a much better carryover to trying to increase the strength and stability of that upper back. All right, exercise number 3 that is better than a face pull when trying to strengthen your upper back for a deadlift is a row. I just had a total brain fart there. So I'm gonna be using the seated prone row bench from elitefts.com, but a couple things that you really wanna focus in on when it comes to rowing, right? In our deadlift, we wanna drive those shoulder blades down, stabilize that core. But when we're training the musculature of the back, we wanna make sure we're going through that full range of motion. So when you're rowing, whether it's chest supported, whether you're using a dumbbell, you wanna make sure you're reaching with the bar, reaching with the dumbbells, the kettlebells, whatever, and then driving that shoulder blade all the way back, right? So I'll demonstrate here. Again, these are 1,000-pound kettlebells, as you can tell. What you wanna do is you wanna reach forward, let those shoulder blades come all the way forward, and think about driving the elbows back, squeeze that chest up, and squeeze all the way through. This is a great bench for it. This is actually one of my favorite pieces of equipment here. But again, if you do not have access to this particular piece of equipment, and I know a lot of you do not, we'll jump onto a different version that you can try at your gym. All right, so I know a lot of you have our new chest supported rows, but what you want to really focus in on is have that same range of motion. I'm just kidding. I know not a ton of you have this. I am going to demonstrate to you how you can do this at your gym, and I really mean it this time. All right, so you can just use any 0 to 90 bench. I would suggest the Elite FTS one, but again, same idea. You want to lock yourself in, give yourself the ability to reach, let those shoulder blades come forward, and squeeze them back. As you can see from all these exercises, they're all very different, right? The carries, the pull-ups, the rows, but the fact of the matter is they're allowing you to train your deadlift or the specific needs of your deadlift much more effectively than that face pull. So guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, subscribe, share it to everybody you know. On behalf of myself and Jacob behind the camera, this was a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoy it. And what is that noise? Holy shit, there's ghosts in here. All right, guys, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.